What's up and welcome to our podcast, Toast to Tea.
We're two friends that love the world of celebrity and pop culture and talking about it with you.
To join our world of celebrity, make sure to rate, like, and subscribe to our podcast. Now hit it.
It's about that time.
Wait, where's the Chris Cam?
To say cheers to our world of celebrity.
1000%.
They're back together, and it feels just right.
Miss Mika, nice to meet ya.
Raise your glass.
I'm Maddison Hill.
And I'm Courtney Revolution.
Because it's our moment to
Toast to tea.
Courtney, hello. Welcome. We are back.
We're back, and I'm still black, and I love it.
Me too. We have so much fun stuff to get into. I also am dying because we're literally matching. I just realized.
Yeah, I know. I love it. Two burglars.
I know.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. You guys know Courtney and I are the worst dresser-uppers. Like, we don't dress up unless
Madison,
we are
get
forced.
this. Get
What?
this. You ready to laugh, girl?
Yes, I'm ready.
How this year, out of all the years, I have 2 Halloween costumes and barely a maybe plan. Like a maybe later, maybe.
That is a true tourist situation. Like, finally prepared, finally going out of our comfort zone, finally going to shut everyone up and wear a freaking outfit. And now it's like, oh, actually, I don't know if I want to do it. What? We prepared.
Literally prepared. Like, I really am not feeling the whole, like, going to WeHo crowd. I've already gotten so many DMs. Are you going to be in WeHo today? Like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to get trampled. And so, like, it's like, well, what do we do? Well, maybe we'll go here. Let's RSVP just in case. So I will know by, I'm sure, 5 p.m. this late afternoon whether I'm going to celebrate Halloween outside of the house. Otherwise, I'm buying a bottle of wine and rewatching Terrifier 1.
I was going to say, I will be in the house. I will be, well, actually at my parents' house. Mama Hill is going to make some mummy hot dogs, like little mummy dogs. I just talked to her before this and she's like, I'm on my way to go find a pumpkin cookie cutter for my ham and cheese pockets. And I was like, girl, I live for ham and cheese. That sounds delicious. And we're going to have wine and watch Hocus Pocus and Practical Magic, double feature.
Oof.
Possibly throwing a Beetlejuice in there. You know, just.
You're not going to turn on Terrifier?
No, Courtney. No, my dad, Papa Hill, would live for that. Me, I'm like, no, let's watch about witches getting back at people. And that's about as Halloween spooky as I like to get. Other than true crime. I mean, but I don't really consider true crime like spooky.
No, Terrifier is like it's a horror movie, to be clear, everyone. Hi, community. It's a horror movie. It's more so on the blood and gore side than the jump scare, oh my God side. Like, you will see things squirting, an intestine dropping. There's a chainsaw killing there.
I almost feel like that's better for me. I think I prefer that over like the jump scare.
Yeah, I'm not too big on a jump scare. Like, that freaks me out. But like a little gore, a little hand chop off, like, it's so camp.
Oh, it's like a medical show. You know what I mean? It's just like watching a plastic surgery video. Like, I don't know if anyone's ever watched a video of a BBL, but it is fascinating. So I imagine I could do the gore. I don't like the jump scare. I also don't like paranormal stuff.
Oh, like how they had Paranormal Activity back in the day?
Which I do love, like, real life paranormal shows, but movies about that stuff, I don't want that juju. Like, I don't want that coming through the screen. I don't want anyone upstairs thinking I engage in those things. I just want all
You said, I am a holy woman. This is just for entertainment.
Okay, hello. I did go through my first communion. This is just a movie. I just want that clear for everyone who's listening, watching, because that's what scares me. Like, that's the last thing I need.
Listen, that makes a lot of sense. I feel like, the craft is about as far as you'll go when it comes to like the witchery and the demonry and all of that.
Exactly. I will watch Ghost Adventures, but that's, Zach Bagans is hilarious to me, so I'm here for that.
I've never seen Ghost Adventures before.
Okay, Courtney, you would love it because the guys are absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you have to give a couple episodes a watch because I feel like you would be dying laughing at how these guys try to act like they're all big and tough and then they're actually just a bunch of big babies who are also ghost hunting. So I feel like, it's a good like when you're in a hotel, this is a very specific example, but when you're in a hotel and you're finally watching cable for the first time in a long time and it's either like Forensic Files or some random movie on TV, that's when you need Travel Channel Ghost Adventures. Sub in Forensic Files for a couple Ghost Adventures. It'll really make your hotel stay
better than Demi discovering the aliens.
Yes. Oh my God, yes. I forgot that even was a thing.
Yeah, she was singing to the aliens. Shout out to Demi Lovato.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't there a story at one point that Demi said something about hooking up with an alien, or she feels like an alien? Did I make that up?
I don't remember.
I might be making that up.
I need to send you this beautiful, hilarious video that I found that chronicled Demi Lovato's like dramas throughout her career and how most of them are either like unintentional or she just like actively involves herself in something that doesn't involve her at all. And it just made me appreciate her that much more. Like she can only be human.
Was the Finsta on there?
It was in there. Oh my God, I felt so involved. I talked about that on my YouTube channel. All of it was in there.
I will never forget that day of Holly Scoop when it was like Demi Lovato's Finsta and she's been ripping on Selena Gomez. And we were like, we were gagged. Everyone else was gagged. I feel like people in the office didn't quite understand the magnitude of the situation. Everyone's like, why are Courtney?
It was a big deal.
Everyone's just like, Courtney and Maddison are freaking out again. Like, what else is new? But we're like, no, you guys.
Like we are watching the post get deleted in real time.
It was crazy. Wow, Demi really she's had some drama, honestly.
Mm-hmm. But we appreciate the entertainment that she has given us throughout the years.
That is true. Speaking of drama, Courtney, did you watch the Love is Blind season 7 reunion?
Madison, I did, and I'm hoping that after the podcast, I can muster up enough strength to sit and make this TikTok/reel because I have a lot of feelings.
Okay.
Many feelings, actually, and I'm not so sure Netflix is gonna like them, depending on how this TikTok come out. But I do have a duty to my audience to be like honest about certain things and approach this as though I'm a fan and not a person that was talent. Like,
No, 1,000,000%.
There are just things that like my thing as a reality TV fan, Madison, is fan service. We've committed all of these hours to the show and, these people and these characters, okay, we have questions and we need them answered in a way where we can sort of feel satisfied. And I feel like Netflix strategically did things to sort of be like, well, here you go. Damn. And like other things that like weren't really as prominent or important got like 15 minutes of like the reunion, 20 minutes of the reunion, like stuff that like literally didn't even matter. No shade to y'all. But like the main thing we were like worried about was like one of the guys had like, basically children that he had been hiding on the show.
So that was real. So he really did have kids.
Yes, he had children. He did help a lesbian couple, a same-sex couple, have children, but then the one girlfriend left. So there was a single mother situation. And then I believe the baby's mother is saying that they had some sort of relationship, and then he abandoned the family to do Love is Blind, which they knew. He was going on the show to better their lives, and after the show, he basically never saw the kids, according to the baby's mother. And so there were lots of questions. She's saying you owe, thousands of dollars in child support.
Right.
Never got discussed.
That was never,
never answered, never addressed. The baby's mother never had like a say, not a Skype call in. Like these are the things that we were specifically looking for. And they gave us like 25 minutes of this really mean young lady trying to like flip the script on like the literal fan favorite of the season. Like, girl, we don't need that. Like, and we're gonna love Nick Dorka forever, period. Team Nick forever. Don't care about you, Hannah, no shade.
Netflix has dropped the ball on every reunion for Love is Blind. No shade. Like
the last one was good. There was like one that was really bad, and then the one after that it improved.
But I also don't like the old couple sitting in the. I didn't like that last time.
Here's the thing, I
don't like that. I don't like. This is not about you anymore.
I agree. I do enjoy them. Like AD and Marshall, I thought were great. They were like right in the front, like making faces and stuff. They were fine because we weren't really talking to them like that. But like to sit and have a whole segment on Jessica's marriage from season 1, like some of us barely even remember Jessica, no shade.
Yeah.
Like, and here's her new husband. Like, we don't care about him. We don't want to meet your kid. Like, it's clear you did. Netflix only called you because Amber and Barnett went and did Lauren and Cameron's podcast.
Yeah,
so now it's like, well, let's call Jessica. Like, you know, so like, you know, I was unsatisfied, but it was okay. Satisfactory.
Okay, thank you. Now, honestly, shout out to you for being honest because that tells me I can skip it and keep watching Real Housewives.
You gotta watch it, Maddison!
No, see, I am your audience. I appreciate the honesty because now you know I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off, which I know is a terrible sign, but my Nana used to say it all the time, and it really does apply to how I feel. And so I really have to utilize my TV time wisely these days. So, Courtney,
what if you watch it on like two times speed?
I guess I could do that. I did get a walking pad finally, so I'll just walk and watch at the same time. I'm a walking pad. I don't know why I was from Boston for a second. Walking pad stan these days. Video coming soon on my Instagram if I can ever find frickin' time to get it done. But absolutely obsessed, Courtney. Like, what did I do before a walking pad? Yeah. I mean, I'm really fluffy right now, so I'm hoping it'll help me go from fluffy to sparkly. But I'm pretty pumped. So I will make you a deal. I will watch the Love is Blind reunion 2 times speed on my walking pad.
Okay, fair.
So then we're multitasking. Yeah. But also continuing to catch up on Housewives. Okay, Courtney, let's go ahead and cheers and get into the tea because I've actually been dying to talk to you about this first topic. Because we've obviously been talking about Shawn for many, many years at this point. You and I have also privately talked about some of the rumors we've heard living in LA.
Yes,
so you guys, Shawn Mendes this week opened up about his sexuality really for the first time, I feel like, addressing it head on. Don't you feel like, Courtney? I feel like this is really the first time he's like...
This is
directly made a comment about it. It was at his show in Colorado on his Friends and Family tour. And he started off saying, quote, "Since I was really young, there's been this thing about my sexuality and people have been talking about it for so long. I think it's kind of silly because I think sexuality is such a beautifully complex thing and it's so hard to just put into boxes." He went on to say that these conversations always felt like an intrusion to him and very personal because it was something he was figuring out himself. He said now he's speaking freely, which I think is a good thing. He then went on to say, quote, "The real truth about my life and my sexuality is that, man, I'm just figuring it out like everyone. I don't really know sometimes, and I know other times, and it feels really scary because we live in a society that has a lot to say about that." He continued saying, "I'm trying to be really brave and just allow myself to be human and feel things, and that's all I really want to say about that for now." What did you think of that?
Coming from the place of someone that has made his jokes transparent, I do want to say that what he said was very brave, considering that for the majority of us, like, we have to come out to like one person, a parent, parents, something to that, extent. Mm-hmm. And Shawn lives under the microscope and very bravely chose to get up on stage in front of all of those people, knowing that it was going to be recorded, knowing that it was going to be blasted on TikTok immediately after, and speak his truth. And I can't take that away from him and I can't criticize him for that. However, to give y'all the step inside my brain, I do wonder if this correlates with why he decided to push his album back, because we were supposed to go to his show a few days ago. Right after we got sort of the invitation, then the news came out that he was pushing his album back. So I just wonder if this has anything to do with it, if there's more that he wants to uncover musically.
I was going to say, I feel like these comments, I'm glad he did address it, but it also makes me nervous for him because he didn't fully give people what they wanted to hear, right?
Like a label?
Yes, and I feel like knowing how the internet works, instead of people hearing this and respecting it and being like, he's still figuring it out, let's, you know what I mean? I'm worried that people are going to hear this and be like, let's dig in even more and theorize and da-da-da-da-da-da. And I do feel for Shawn. I can't imagine getting on stage, like you were saying, and having to talk about this with, you know, hundreds, thousands of people.
The world.
And then the internet on top of it. You know, I do feel like, especially as far as his album getting pushed back, I do think for right now he's probably in a little bit of a battle with his label because it's like, I want to authentically be myself. Please allow me to authentically be myself. I don't know if something's going on there. But I also feel like how hard for him that he's been going on stage and being out in the public and like not feeling like he can be his authentic self. Like that makes me sad.
Yeah, and this is just a speculation, not about Shawn's sexuality per se, but we as an audience don't know what management and the label is saying, what they could potentially be discouraging. Shawn, you ain't had no hit. We need you to get sexy and appeal to the women.
And that's
what you gonna do? Now, and all of a sudden, now here we got him and Camila talking about Senorita. Like, not saying that happened, but it could.
Yeah.
In some galaxy, in some dimension. Like, I just wouldn't be surprised.
Think about his singles that he's been releasing haven't been slaying. And that's no shade. I like Shawn Mendes. Like, I like his music. But compared to previously, it's not been doing the same. And so there is part of me that is with you on your role is the heartthrob. Go do that.
Exactly.
We can't have you doing anything else.
It's giving, we don't want the soft boy tunes. We want hits.
Right.
And maybe that's not where Shawn is in his life and career right now. And we got to find a middle ground because music is a business and somebody has to make money.
Yeah. No, 1,000,000%. I feel for it. And I'm guilty of making, I've guilty of making comments about Shawn Mendes before, like, we're right there. But I do think everyone knows we're human. Everyone knows where our hearts lie. And I do really hope that at some point in his career, he can be his authentic self, whatever that is.
Because I want to know that person.
I do too. And I actually think, I know the record label might be, again, this is just us speculating, but I know he has been put in a box for most of his career as like the heartthrob. But I actually think his music would be better if he could be his authentic self. Because honestly, I think the great thing about music is regardless of who the artist is singing about, you can apply that situation to your life. You know what I mean? And I think, I wish record labels would understand that. Like, if the music's there, it doesn't matter who they're singing about. It doesn't matter who they love. We're going to love it no matter what. And
imagine being Shawn Mendes trying and potentially fighting to be himself as a public figure in his career. And we got my good Judy, Troye Sivan twirling around, living his best life, glory hole in the vinyl art and everything else. It's just like super mature, adult, gay in your face. And not saying that that's Shawn's aesthetic or what he wants to do, but it must be frustrating. Even David Archuleta, that's something more closer related. Like now he's able to be himself and girl, he's living his best life, girl. And I want that for Shawn because every person deserves to like live the life that is for them.
1,000,000%. Shawn, we love you. We live, laugh, love you. But Courtney, we do have to go from something serious and sentimental too. Can we talk about this Doja Cat Airbnb story is just haunting me.
I cackled because I was like, look at Maddison. She hated this Airbnb story. Now look at the drama that came out of it.
See, I told you. So you guys, remember we had talked about this experience that people were trying to win where they could go stay at the Airbnb with Doja Cat. It was supposed to be 15 lucky fans. Well, now one of those super fans recently shared how disappointing the situation was on Twitter. They were allegedly kicked out of this Airbnb, okay? They claimed they spent hundreds, and this is what we were talking about. What about the people who had to travel? They spent hundreds of dollars on travel and merch to get to LA just to be turned away, okay? So this fan explained that they had come prepared with a lot of things for Doja to sign. A letter, snacks, vinyl record, a screenshot of Doja blocking them, which they thought Doja would find funny, which I do think she would have found that funny. They were told that these were against the rules, even though their bag had already been checked. The fan said, quote, "I read through the entire 11 pages of the Airbnb Icons rules and I followed them." Okay. Then another fan said, "Oh, I had a different experience. They called the event magical, said everyone was so nice and attentive." So now obviously people are saying, what's the tea? Was it terrible? Were they not allowing people to bring stuff in? Were they not following their own guidelines? Was it lovely? Courtney, what do you make of the situation? And then I'll tell you my thoughts.
Goody gumdrop. And I'm going to tell you why. This person, Maddison, that they put out is so nasty on the internet.
Oh,
and what
really?
I mean by nasty, I mean so mean. I didn't even recognize the person. The person had put a picture of the letter that they had wanted to give Doja Cat in a tweet. And when I went to their Twitter page, it was main account. And when I clicked their main account, I had them blocked. So clearly you're a jerk.
Yeah.
And everyone else was kind of coming out with their own examples of well, this is what you get. Look at all the things that you were tweeting at all these celebrities and Doja Cat.
Yeah.
So even if they won the contest, even if they explained that, hey, Doja Cat blocked me at one point, and they said, come on down. That's the risk that you take when you get down there and all of a sudden security is wait a minute, she got you blocked? You giving us all this personal information in this letter. You're trying to feed her with snacks? What? You're not about to poison this lady and she got you blocked? We ain't taking no chances. We can't take no chances.
Yeah.
Maddison, I understand the money spent. Mm-hmm. Why are you trying to see somebody that got you blocked?
I also, but this is
What if you walk in and
don't
Doja Cat's oh my God.
I don't understand people who do things like this, and I also don't people who throw things at celebrities in the concerts. It's the same mindset to me of why you're spending money on people you hate. I also am really upset because you said so nasty, and it obviously reminded me of the Queen.
So
nasty, so rude, and you did not quote that, and it made me sad. But I have to say, I just thought this whole thing was a bad idea from the get-go because you knew, and I said that when we talked about it originally, I knew that something was going to go awry. There's no way this is going to be a foolproof experience. And even though, okay, this person, yes, I don't think they necessarily should have been allowed in, but we knew that this was going to be an issue, especially with Doja Cat because she has such a interesting, that's a nice way to put it, relationship with her fans. I do feel she has this situation with her fans where it's a love-hate relationship. I almost feel like she loves and hates them, just like they love and hate her. It's so, of all the people to do an intimate experience, I don't know what Airbnb was thinking doing Doja Cat because it's just a weird relationship that they have.
I thought the idea was fun. I understand what you mean about the relationship between the fans, right? Because there was that period of time where it was is she trolling? Is she not? What is going on? But I think that shouldn't take away from the fact that she was trying to at least do something positive to strengthen the connection for people that she hopefully knew for a fact liked her. I think that this doesn't so much fall on the security. Right, because it's their job to keep her safe.
I was going to say their job is to make sure, like you said, no one's going to poison her or do anything.
I agree. I think it falls on the people that chose the winners, the company that chose the winners. Because let's say if this person is saying, "Hey, Doja Cat has me blocked," they explained the whole situation to them. "Hey, Doja Cat has me blocked. Blah blah blah. It's a joke. Blah blah blah." I would have never chosen them. Out of how many people probably applied? You know what I mean? I'm sure there were people down the street that applied from the Airbnb. I would have probably chosen them over someone that Doja Cat actively has blocked.
Right. No, and I also kind of feel in this situation, you can't even hate on Doja Cat for that because she's just the talent. She's there to show up and meet the fans.
Played a little new music from the album and call it a day.
Right. This is 1,000% on the people who chose the winner. What were they thinking? And they should, whatever intern let that go through, we're going to have a talking to. You know what I mean?
Hand in your papers.
Exactly. Okay, let's talk about Miss Taylor Swift fighting the good fight that we all are still trying to fight. against Ticketmaster's dynamic pricing for the Eras Tour. Now, this pricing model has come under fire a lot lately, like not even just with Taylor Swift, for a lot of different shows, but obviously the Eras Tour, I feel like, has been one of the biggest points of conversation. In an interview with Hits Daily Double, AEG, their chairman, shed some light on Taylor's decision to opt out of using dynamic pricing. He said there are a number of things Taylor did that other artists wouldn't contemplate doing. She specifically said no dynamic pricing. He also said that she made moves that might even cut into her profits because she's thinking about her career and fan loyalty in the long run, which, as we're not surprised, of course, Taylor is thinking about this. We know that Taylor has also talked about, struggling with Ticketmaster, these ticket sales, all of this stuff. She's talked about how excruciating it is to have to trust an outside company with her fans' experience. Courtney, what do you think? Do you think more artists should be going against the dynamic pricing models like Taylor to build more fan loyalty? Yeah.
Honestly, I remember when we were younger, like how concerts, like good concert tickets were like $100. Like remember when concerts used to be cheap, and now the fact that like you can't even go and see your favorite artist at like a decent seat for like under $500 is insane to me. And then to find out that the artists are like choosing this option so that they don't lose money is insane, because you want your diehards there. You want the people that know the songs there. You don't want just the people that can afford your concert ticket to be there, because then there's a bigger chance of them just being there to be seen. And then what do you get? A silent audience.
Right.
And that's not cute for social, right?
No.
I love knowing that Taylor would rather lose money than choose like the dynamic pricing that could potentially like X out some of her super fans that, save up money for years and years potentially.
No, 1,000,000%.
This was great news to hear. I wish more artists did that and were open about it.
I think so too. I feel like it's always this very like hush-hush thing of how touring profits work. It's a very complex issue and it's very interesting, but no, I'm with you. I even remember my dad was saying the other day, he's like, when we used to take you to concerts, like to go see Hannah Montana, that was a big show that came to Kansas City when I was younger. It was Hannah Montana and the Jonas Brothers. Oof. He literally went and got tickets the morning of, so my sister and I could go. And he's like, and it was not anything crazy. It was not this like waiting in a queue. Like it was, very, I don't know, it's just things have changed so much and people have gotten so greedy. I also think obviously the merging of the Ticketmaster Live Nation situation has made things even harder, because now certain venues across the country, you can only play at them if you utilize Ticketmaster to do the sales, which really, I
didn't realize that.
Which really hurts artists as well, because it leaves them with minimal options. It is so tough, and obviously we know Taylor is all for the fans. And I will say a lesson to artists, being that way has clearly benefited her pocketbook more than if she didn't. So I actually think in an effort for her to be less greedy, she's become more successful, which maybe some more artists should take the lead on that a little bit,
Yeah, I agree. And you know what else? I'm glad that this is being talked about, because I remember during the first leg of the Eras Tour, how people were like trying to say that it's the dynamic pricing that's making Taylor's tickets so expensive. And it's like, no, girl, the tickets were actually reasonably priced, but people bought them all up and then they decided to resell them. That was the issue.
That's been the issue for sure.
So like to have the chairman come out and be like, listen, this girl would rather lose money than make a really, I don't want to say greedy, but make a more lucrative decision. It's good news. I'm glad it's out there, because people love to just like say whatever without any proof at all. We got a quote. We got a quote.
From the chairman, the man making the decisions, the man in charge. I will say I am everyone who bought up the tickets in Indianapolis and Miami and New Orleans this time and then tried to resell them for an astronomical amount of price. I hope that karma gets you, because that was super rude, super uncool, and I'm still irritated about it.
Literally
so nasty,
$2,000
so rude. Literally.
Just to get in the door to see Taylor.
No,
insane.
My dad told me someone that he talked to, he had promised his daughters that, I think he has 2 daughters. He had made a promise to his daughters, like, he didn't get them tickets to LA. He couldn't get them. And so he said, I promise before this is over, I will make sure, you know, like any dad does with his daughters.
Of course.
I will make sure you see Taylor Swift. So he got tickets in Miami. He said, I think he spent the whole weekend to go see Taylor Swift was going to cost this man $30,000, which this man alleged, like my dad's like, oh, he's loaded. But the tickets were insane. I think they were around like 5,000 or something. It was like, for his family of 4 to go, it was crazy. And I'm just like, could you imagine? I mean, if I had it, I would obviously spend it. But that is like unrealistic for the normal person. You know what I mean?
That's
like
a good vacation.
That's a salary. That's a salary. That is crazy.
Actually.
That is literally a salary.
To see Taylor Allison, girl.
A whole salary. Like, no. So just know that's not Taylor. That is greedy little people online, and we're just going to hope that karma gets them.
Yeah, so that we can have our cheap concert tickets back.
Exactly. Now, speaking of karma, there's someone I'm hoping karma might get, Courtney. Let's talk about this little shady report from Life and Style about Kim Kardashian allegedly waiting for Taylor and Travis to break up, because it has got my upper lip sweating since I came across it. So this source said that Kim would never say anything publicly, which duh, she knows better, at least there. But privately, she's getting a big kick out of predicting when this whole Taylor and Travis thing will, quote, crash and burn, and laughing at how embarrassing it's all gonna be for Taylor when it does, okay? This source went on to say that Kim has been following all of the Taylor and Travis drama because, you know, people love to hate on them. People love to hate a happy celeb couple. People have been commenting negatively about Travis's performance this season, even though he's literally doing fine. Remember we had that whole like BS PR contract that they were going to break up, and his team had to come out and say, that is not true. This is fake. We don't even have anyone who works at the agency with this name. Well, Kim's apparently been following all of that. And the source went on to say that Taylor and Travis always smelled a little suspicious to Kim. But even if it's not a PR romance, she's convinced it's still going to implode before too long. This insider said Kim isn't looking for another fight with Taylor, but it does, quote, piss her off that she gets completely raked over the coals for her dating drama while Taylor comes out smelling like a rose. This insider said, and this is the most offensive part to me about this whole report, quote, no doubt she's going to raise a glass of champagne if and when Travis and Taylor do break up.
Not raise a glass of champagne.
I know, that's literally the most offensive part. Here's the thing. We know some of these publications love to exaggerate, right? And they use certain terminology that really gets the girls going, the girls being me. However, I do believe that Kim does keep an eye on Taylor. And I do believe it irritates Kim when Taylor gets so much positive press. And I do believe it is irritating her how much the world loves Taylor and Travis.
That's so weird. I feel like the Kardashians, I feel like if I'm famous, like to the magnitude that they are, I'm not thinking about nobody else and their positive PR, because at the end of the day, this coin is going to roll and I can have anything I want, day or night. So to hear that Kim, as rich as she is, living on her compound with her very creative children, and you sitting up there flipping through blogs about Taylor Swift, girl, if you don't turn on Reputation tomorrow, November 1st, and call it a day and get with the times, that's corny of her to hear that, to have that come out. That's corny.
And I just believe it because I'm with you, but I also think, Courtney, we have to remember where we come from and the way we were raised, and also how we are as people. For us, I know when we have the multi-million dollars in the bank account, the way you and I will actually not check for a singular soul in our same career, because we're going to be so focused on what we have going on. Like,
because I need more.
Quite literally could not care less. However, I think Kim does kind of feed off that comparison. And I think why I think especially it's bothering her, and this is just my own theory, is because we've talked about this. I do think the power and the influence of the Kardashians is waning. I think we're starting to see it decline.
I agree.
And Taylor's is only getting bigger. Her power is only getting bigger. Her influence is only getting bigger. And now I think Kim is really starting to see the consequences of her actions. You know, she probably should have just called Taylor up. We could have had a Taylor Skims campaign by now. Travis could be modeling for Skims Men. They are two of the biggest influential people right now, and they want nothing to do with anyone related to the Kardashians. That's not good for them. That's not good for people whose star is starting to dim.
Didn't Chris tell her to apologize to Taylor?
Yeah, she said, I know her mom.
Now, why you ain't listen to your mama, Kimberly? Now, you needed to put your pride to the side, and you know your babies love her. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. Taylor could have been singing Shake It Off in your living room instead of Ice Spice bent over twerking.
Literally. Or Ariana and Cynthia coming over for a movie night. Like, imagine, no shade to Ariana and Cynthia, but if I had the choice, I would rather be shaking it off with Taylor Swift.
Me personally. Same.
Oh, Courtney, I do have to tell you. Sorry, this is, okay, I have to tell you something about the Cynthia and Ariana thing because it just popped into my head. So, this weekend, my childhood friends were in town.
Yes.
And the youngest one, we were in the car and we're driving, Caitlin, and she's like, did you see the AI photo of Ariana having kids? And I was like, the AI photo of Ariana's kids? What are you talking about? And she's like, oh, they're all in pajamas. And I'm like, girl, are you talking about when Ariana and Cynthia went over to the Kardashians' house to watch Wicked? She's like, yeah, I can't believe that photo was AI. I was like, girl, someone has not been watching any of my content because that was not AI, that was real life. And those are all of the Kardashians' kids. I was like, I don't know what on the Twitter.
She thought they only had 2 kids?
She literally thought that photo was AI. And I was like, no. And she's like, what do you mean Ariana and Cynthia went over for a movie night? I'm like, I'm telling you that.
Because it don't make no damn sense
PR
at all.
But it was so shocking and not even in her line of thinking that she thought it was AI. And I was dying because I'm like, the way Courtney and I roasted this for literally 45 minutes straight on the last episode, and we have people out here thinking it was AI because it was so random, I was dying.
It is random. At the end of the day, they should have did that at somebody's art school in an inner city. Performing art school. Why you ain't go to LaGuardia?
I mean,
that would have made sense to me.
The way that was just literally the worst PR plan, in my opinion, ever.
Yeah, that wasn't a good plan to me. We talked about it, but
yeah.
What else is going on? We was going to go see the movie anyway, so we didn't need to have a PR photo of Kim and the family getting to see it before us.
But even think of Kim in that instance. They probably thought that was going to have more of an impact, and instead everyone just absolutely roasted it. So that is why when you hear things like this where she's, keeping tabs and seeing what's going on with people and wanting them to fail, I cannot lie. There is part of me that believes it because I do think, although she is a busy billionaire, she is chronically online. And I think if anyone in that family keeps up with what is said about them on social media, it's her. I don't think Courtney cares. I don't think Khloe cares. Kylie and Kendall, they could care less. Kim, I think she cares.
That is so disheartening to hear. To hear of someone that, at least from our perspective, has it all, be concerned about a peer. A rival, if you will. Why are you so concerned? Taylor is out there shimmying, shaking, and making a coin. She should be doing the same.
And a rival who has already dragged you publicly so many times before.
And musically.
Dare I say, there was a clear winner in that situation, and it is still not you. It is. And so I'm with you. Taylor, I want her to put out Reputation tomorrow, and I want her to release all those vault tracks about Miss Kimberly. I'm ready.
Maddison, before we get out of here, I have to ask you, did you see Nicki's live with Ray J yesterday?
No.
It was a very bizarre
What'd she say?
Live. It's nothing about what she said. I don't know what's going on with Ray J. Full speculation ahead. I don't know what's going on with Ray J, but the energy that he came on Nicki Minaj's live with was super weird. And so Nicki basically questioned him about what happened with Diddy's sons. So Diddy's sons tried to fight Ray J the other night, and it was actually broken up by Chris Brown. Shocker. And so Nicki was basically asking him, what was y'all fighting over? And he goes into, they wanted to fight me because I was talking about their father on my show. And Nicki's like, you have a show? He's like, yeah, I'm a news anchor. Maddison, he has not a CNN show, but a CNN style show, and he's like up there joking about the baby oil, and I don't know. There's a lot of rumors about Ray J in terms of like the demise of Whitney Houston and you know what's going on with Wendy Williams, and Nicki very much was like, "Cool, stay over there."
Yeah. I didn't
watch
even
the
know he had
impressive
a
video.
show. I didn't
Me
even
either.
know.
Me either. Watch the impressive video. You'll gag.
I'm sketched out. I really hope this whole situation, I'm ready for a lot of people to be exposed. Also, why are Diddy's sons out? Oh my God.
And that was the question. Impressive was like, why are you even out? Because
Why
like,
are
that's
you-
how you
and-
get caught up.
And you know, that's not the first time they've been caught out. The son was caught out. I think did we talk about this? The son was caught out. This was a couple weeks ago after, remember how he had to reappear in court or beginning of the month. The son was out like 3 days after that. One of the girls who's out with him is Instagram living, and he's on Instagram Live pouring a shot into his girlfriend's mouth. Which,
All right.
okay, whatever. But what if I am Diddy's attorneys? I am like, I don't know what the hell you think you're doing. Stay inside, stay off the internet, and absolutely don't be on social media doing
Yeah,
that.
I'd be in a bomb shelter.
Especially because that one of the sons is also a part of one of the lawsuits. Mm-hmm. The one who was on camera. So for people who say, Maddison, why should his kids have to suffer for his actions? I'm not saying they should, but if you're one of the kids who's named in a lawsuit for acting inappropriately, allegedly, with yacht employees, and one of the accusations is you were wanting someone to drink when they didn't want to drink, and then you're on camera doing that exact same thing.
Ooh.
Doesn't look good.
I was going to say, that's not a good look. Weird.
No.
It was weird. The live was weird.
No. Life is weird. Wow, I love when we get off topic. Nothing makes me happier. Like when we go off the docket. That's
I
my
had to
favorite.
just like sneak that in there because I was like, I wonder if Madison had seen that because it was very bizarre.
But
to the point
if there's
where
an
it's, like,
impressive
making the
video,
vlogs.
I'll watch the impressive video. You know, shout out to Impressive. Honestly, Courtney and I have really loved Impressive since like we were
That's
back
my
at
grab.
our old jobs. So shout out to
She
Impressive.
gets the tea.
Yes. Okay, Courtney, are you ready for our final segment of?
Put it in the teapot.
Okay, something I want to put in the teapot this week is that it is okay to make mistakes. I think as someone who is a perfectionist and a people pleaser, I do my best to never flub up and never misstep because I always want to be the one who has it together and knows what I'm doing and I'm the Maddison Hill. But y'all, I do sometimes make mistakes. And I need to remember that that's okay. I feel like sometimes I beat myself up over certain things and I get my anxiety all worked up. And I need to remember that everything is going to be okay. Everything happens for a reason. And we are human. Everyone's human. And sometimes even humans make mistakes. And I really feel like, Courtney, this year for me has been a year of lessons, which no one likes to learn lessons, right? We always just want to have everything all figured out, especially me. And I feel like this year for me has really been about learning a lot, which I think is a great thing because that equals growth. So I'm ready for all these lessons and all these seeds that have been planted to flourish. I'm ready. Ready for the year of 32.
I know that's right.
Yes.
Come on.
32 is also when Oprah got her talk show. So
Really?
we're manifesting.
Oh, well, girl, that's right around the corner. For this week's Put It in the Teapot, I would like to encourage the community to have the hard conversations. I know too many people, and I used to be this person a lot, that would sweep things under the rug and hope for the best with my people, whether that be friends, family, relationship, what have you. However, what I'm learning is that like your relationships truly do get stronger when you decide to have the hard conversations. It doesn't mean that it's going to be easy. You may cry, you may get frustrated, you may get your feelings hurt, but at the end, hopefully there will be clarity, understanding, maybe a boundary even set. And even though you may have to go through some sort of emotional storm to get there, the foundation is always stronger on the other side. So even when you feel anxious, even when it might feel uncomfortable, you have to have the conversations. Sometimes all it takes is sorry.
That's the tea, Courtney. 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
Abso-freaking-lutely. It only makes you stronger. Not only as a person,
Yeah.
but your relationships too.
Absolutely. You got to have the hard
1,000,000%.
conversations.
That's part of that growth, you guys. We're all growing every day. Even
Every
though it's
day,
been-
girl.
Every day, every day. You guys, don't forget, please send in put it in the teapot submissions to us. We love hearing straight from the community. You can email us at toastedteapod@gmail.com or comment below if you're watching on YouTube or Spotify, or shoot us a DM on Instagram or TikTok. You guys, we had so much fun chatting with you on yet another amazing, fun episode. Make sure you like this video, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, hit that notification bell, subscribe to wherever you get your podcasts, and don't forget to participate in that Spotify poll. Follow us on social media at Toasted Tea Pod. You can also follow me at I am Maddison Hill with 2 Ds on Instagram and TikTok, and Maddison Hill 93 on Snapchat.
You can follow me on TikTok at Court Revolution, on Twitter at Court Revolution, and on Snapchat at Court Revolution, but on Instagram at Courtney Revolution, and that goes for YouTube as well.
Yay! You guys have a fantastic rest of your day, your weekend. Happy Halloween, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye, y'all!